Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. We are on the vanilla server. I need to specify that now each time an episode starts, although you know what server this is, you've seen the title of this video. I'm just being silly. So there is a zombie down there and he's drowning. Nice move, mate. That was clever. Yeah, this is a problem because there's a zombie down there and a skeleton shot me a moment ago when I was trying to get into the bed here. And we're over at Tango's area. I guess you could call it that now. It's pretty much his area, isn't it? It's the quad witch hut place. And the problem with mob spawning is that we don't want them to spawn around here. And a skeleton spawned somewhere back here. So I reckon we just need a couple more torches in places. Looks like it could actually do with some, doesn't it? But there you go. Anyway, so Tango's witch farm. We did a prank on him recently, which failed, unfortunately. And I was speaking to him, and I decided I wanted to build a witch hut over here as well, because I know Tango really wants to have two of these instead of just the one, and I know he's a really busy guy, and I haven't built a witch hut this time round on the server. I built one on the last map, and unfortunately the server reset not long after I built that, so I thought it'd be time to come over here and build another one. And look at that, some witches spawning. That's the actual first set of witches I've seen spawn on that since I've been around here, which is pretty cool. Okay, I got interrupted there for a second. While I was standing over here, I could see loads of witches spawning over there, which is good. You know, Red Eyes has done a fantastic job of the caving in this area. Even when I'm down here, we get some decent rates, and some excellent ones when you're up there, probably. So, I'm going to be building a witch hut over on that side, and it's going to be the same as this one, same design. I'm not really going to do any progress updates or anything like that. I'm just going to build the whole thing because Tango's already done it. So if you want to see how it's built, then go and check out his video. But I'm going to try and make this thing symmetrical, so it's like it's mirrored over there. However, I don't know if the witch's rotation, the witch's hut even, if its rotation determines what way it's going to be around, or even if they rotate, they might all actually spawn in the world facing in the same direction, which would be interesting, although I doubt that. It's just possible that it could work that way. So I'm going to go over there and build it. I know that Tango wants to do something with the two of them, I think building wise, so I'm going to make it look exactly the same as well as it being the same design of farm. So there isn't really much more for me to talk about. It's now time for me to go and start building this thing, and I am well prepared. I've brought over with me some materials. I've got string and pistons, glowstone and redstone, which I got from the farm down the bottom. Of course Tango wouldn't mind. This is all going towards a good thing. So yep, it's time for me to crack on and build it. So I did say that we weren't going to do a progress update or anything like that, but this is not really a progress update. I have obviously done some work on this witch farm and it is not finished yet, and in general it's just taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. But I was just thinking about why it's taking so long. It's because I'm so underprepared. I've literally come over here with hardly any resources. I've been using the redstone from the witch farm over on the other side, and I've even been running out of stone as well, so I've been digging the ditch down here a bit at the time just to get the materials that I need, and it has been really back and forth and quite tedious. But you know what? I have really enjoyed building this, and I think actually not doing the little progress updates sometimes makes it a little bit more enjoyable, because I've just been cracking on, following the tutorial, building all of this, putting it together. You know, as you build it, you kind of figure out how it all works and you see what makes the farm work, which is awesome. So I've really been enjoying it, and we've almost got the first layer of this done, which I was looking forward to having finished, but then I realised you can't really get that bit running until you've done the rest of the farm. Otherwise you can have witches spawning up the top there once you remove these lamps and other things like that as well. So it is coming along. I'm having fun. One of the things we need to do in this area though is light it up. As you can see, mobs are spawning, and there's actually quite a lot of them around when you take the time to stop and look. And there's also slimes spawning here in the swamp as well, which obviously makes a lot of sense. So I think this area needs to be tidied up a little bit. We need more torches, maybe turn it into a bit of a perimeter, and the rates can definitely be increased further. And at the moment Tango is all the way up there AFKing in a new spot, which is in the middle of these two areas. So I need to crack on and get this thing done, because we are actually not too far away from being complete. We got to build these things on either side, over there and over here. Then we have to build a lighting system above it and the ditch down below, and then we're done. So it shouldn't be too much longer and this thing will be up and running, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it go. Well, this thing is now technically done. It is not 100% finished. I haven't installed the lighting system, but we're at a point now where we can run this thing. I've just finished putting in all of the string. We go across like this. I think the timing is a little messed up in places. This doesn't look right. Well, I guess I'll have to look at that and fix that another time. And building this last bit here was alright, except I built it at the wrong height, and after I built this one and the one on the other side, I then had to tear both of them down and rebuild them a couple of blocks lower, which was actually not too bad because by then I had memorized the whole building process. So all we need to do now is remove the lamps to get this thing running, which I'm not actually going to do straight away. And we also need to place a bunch of hoppers down the bottom there. And I almost fell in. I was holding shift. It's because there's a ladder there. There's a half block gap, so I kind of went over the edge. But anyway, what we're going to be doing next is actually meeting up with Tango. He's on the server at the moment doing a little bit of recording, and we're going to do a time lapse because we decided to tidy up this area and create a little bit of a perimeter. There has been some mobs spawning in the area just where there's, you know, a few torches here and there that are missing, and so we thought what we'd actually do is just tear up all of the dirt and flood the place, so then we don't have to worry about slime spawning or hostile mobs either. And then this thing is going to be pretty much finished in terms of a perimeter because Red Eyes has done all of the caving. So I don't know exactly where he is at the moment. I assume he's somewhere in this area, but I've got to find him. We're going to meet up and we're going to do a little bit of a time lapse. So I'm going to get my camera account on here and record it and edit it and do all of that fun stuff and hopefully make it really interesting. But I'm definitely looking forward to this because I've done a little bit of removal like this before, and it's always a lot of fun. Well, that was amazing. I had so much fun doing all of that with Tango, and looking back at the time lapse, it was really awesome. As we were removing all of the dirt and stuff, you could see it growing back behind, which looked really fun, I thought. And then the big flood at the very end looked absolutely great from up there in the sky. I absolutely love making these time lapses. I want to do more of them in the future, that's for sure. But me and Tango had a great time just talking about all sorts of different things, and it's all now finished, and I logged off after I was done over here, and I've come back on the morning, and Tango has made some more progress over here. So first of all, the witch farm is working, and actually we need to go over there and have a look at that because I'm pretty sure Tango has finished the bottom bit, but it's not spawning any at the moment. And Biffa was on a while ago, and as soon as Biffa logged off, all of a sudden loads of witches started spawning in it, which makes a lot of sense actually. Okay, so when I left here there were a few hoppers down the bottom, and I guess Tango's now covered those hoppers with half slabs, and it looks like there's a little bit of a place to walk down here. Okay, so I guess we're going to see, yeah, look, there's a dispenser there. So if I put some items into this, it's going to start dispensing them, and then over there you go, there's a water stream. So that's going to take all the items to the center, And he's done the same thing on the other side as well, because I've seen where all of the items come up, and he hasn't finished it at the moment. Anyway, yeah, I just want to show you what this place looks like before we head off, because this episode I was planning on doing this quickly and then going over to the Guardian farm and working on that and making a lot of progress. But actually I've spent a lot more time over here than I expected. But do you know what? I have really enjoyed it. It's been awesome working on this project, I've got to say. So, this is where the items come up to, and at the moment they're all just standing there despawning. I don't like that. I was thinking about setting up some temporary hoppers and chests to pick up the items, but then I saw that becoming a bit of a nightmare. You know, it would be not something too simple to do, and it would get a little bit bigger, I guess you could say, as it was going on. So I guess there were witches just spawning over there a second ago, or we might see our flint come up here in a second. No, that's gunpowder. And before we leave this area, we've got to have a look from up above. This is the new AFK spot between the two witch farms. We've got one over there, one over on this side. That looks absolutely amazing. And you've got the creeper farm over there, or at least the lightning creeper farm, I guess you could say. Tango still hasn't had one. He's been really, really unlucky with that. It's just going to suck, but he's going to be in the area a lot, so at some point I'm sure the lightning is going to strike. But there you go, it's a nice view from up here, but it is time for us to head back to the Guardian farm and to start work on that. So I'll catch you when we get over there. We are on our way to the Guardian farm, and just swinging by the wastelands to get prepared when I noticed these two guys over here, the UHC apples, and it reminded me to talk about UHC Season 4. Now obviously I forgot to do the Season 3 apples. We're going to do 3 and 4 together at the end of that. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Season 4. We implemented a twist where if you kill someone, you get healed fully. So all of your health, even if you've got half a heart down here, it's going to go all the way back up to 4, which is a really cool idea, definitely worth trying. But what I got to say is, and I'm not trying to give anything away, no spoilers, anything like that, I really think you should check out this season because me and Tinfoil Chef had an absolute adventure together. It was so much fun. I'm literally itching for Season 5 already. And I can't tell you more than that, but if you tune in and check it out, you're going to be really entertained because we had an absolute adventure. And that's all I can say at the moment. We'll talk about it again when Season 4 is over and I'll share some more of my thoughts about what happened. But yeah, just wanted to mention that, so let's head over to the Guardian farm. And at last, we are back at the Guardian farm. This thing has changed a fair bit since you last saw it because I have been busy over here digging away, getting this thing prepared. And what I've done is I've actually turned it into a temporary XP farm. I felt like I wanted to play around with that since this thing is going to be a combo. We kind of know how one half of it is going to work, so I thought I'd experiment with the XP half of things. So what I did is I just dug down the levels one by one like this. This is probably going to be roughly where the half slabs go, although I do need to do a little bit more testing with their full damage. But we've got some mortar at the back and then that's just flowing all the way down to the bottom there, and it funnels the Guardians into a single point. So this is kind of going to be what's like with our actual farm, where we've got a half slabs with the minecarts underneath for picking up items, then the water flows over the top. So I just wanted to experiment with it a little bit, and at the moment I've been struggling to think of a way to kill the Guardians effectively, or at least to build a little XP trap down there. And the reason why is because I just haven't had any time to go into a creative world and play around with it. It's all just kind of been looking at them and thinking about what you can do. So if you look here, they jump up and down a lot, which makes... I might get hurt here. Actually, we're going to be alright. Just taking a bit of Thorns damage there. Yeah, it might be a little bit tricky to... That's a slime. We got a slime trapped in this thing. Okay, that's something to consider. That shouldn't be a problem when this farm is finished. But yeah, a crusher design was basically going to be a little bit of a pain. And then I thought about using poison potions. And they are going to be very simple. Put a dispenser in the wall, press a button. They're all going to be poisoned, and then hopefully they'll be one-hit kill. Maybe I'll have to use like 2 poison potions, I don't know. But I think that means it's going to be fairly simple. So the next thing I want to do before I start, making some progress on this, in fact, actually, we're going to hop over into a test world because we have a solution for our problem that we had the last time we were working on this. And that's going to allow us to pick up all of the items that land on the half slabs. So I'll show you that in a minute. But there were some questions from you guys that I wanted to address. So first of all, a common comment that I got. A common comment? Oh, I'm having trouble saying this. A common comment that we got. There we go, I managed to say that. Okay, so the common comment that we got was, why am I not using loads and loads of hoppers? Because of course we could just build a massive hopper basin that would pick up the items and we could flow the water over the top of it. The reason why is because hoppers in large quantities cause lag, and although we're in an isolated area over here, It probably won't be the worst of lag, but it will make a difference, and it's also very simple and straightforward, and sometimes it's actually nice to do things a little bit more complicated. So those are my reasons for not using hoppers. The other thing is people are asking, like, why am I even bothering to make an XP farm when we have the Enderman farm? Well, actually, if you think about the changes that have been made to XP, the Enderman farm is kind of like a different type of XP farm, because you kill the Enderman one by one until you get to level 30, then you do your enchanting, whereas with this one we can gather up a really large bulk of Guardians and kill them all at once with a splash damage potion, which would allow us to probably go beyond 30 levels. Like at the moment I've got 37, so that means I could make 3 level 30 enchants, or actually no, I could only make 2, couldn't I? No, I'd have 31 after 2, so yeah, I could make 3 level 30 enchants in a row, so it makes this a different type of XP farm. But as well as that, I have been told as well another good reason for doing so is because if we kill them ourselves, we get the rare drops like the puffer fish and the salmon and all of that stuff as well, whereas when we farm them automatically, we're not going to get those. So by having it a 2-in-1 farm, we get, you know, a really good XP farm, we get rare drops, and then we can switch it into AFK mode and just stand here and collect the other items when we're not able to be at the farm, which is absolutely awesome, and I think it's going to be a great project. But anyway, we're going to hop over into a test world now so I can show you the fixes that we got for this thing. The solution turned out to be really simple, and I'm not surprised that it was simple, because sometimes when you're designing, and I have talked about this before, you get certain things stuck in your head and you need an alternative perspective to come in and show you what you're doing wrong. So what we were doing wrong here is that we were always sending the minecarts in this direction. That was just something that got stuck in my mind because that was the way we started out doing this thing. And of course the solution is ever so simple. Send the minecarts in the other direction and everything becomes a lot simpler. So this is it right here. It means we can put 8 tracks side by side. They'll go all the way from one side to the other, and they'll all have a half slab above them, and we don't have to deal with the minecarts going up and down between the slabs. And at the moment I have the tracks staggered. The reason why is because when I put them next to each other they connect in that direction, which shouldn't be a problem when we build this in the world. It's just because I've set up a small little demonstration right here. But that is the solution. It also comes with one added bonus, I guess you could say. Before we had the collection points at the end here, so we would have a collection point on this side of the farm, and then we'd have it on the opposite side of the farm as well, which means you then have to move the items all together, which isn't too much of a hassle. But now they can all be on one side of the farm, which makes things a little bit simpler. So it's time for me to finally get on the server and start doing some more work, because it's been about, what, 16 or 17 minutes into this video and we still haven't actually got round to what I was hoping to do from the start. I've just been distracted with the witch farm, hanging out with Tango, and now sorting this thing out in the test world. But thank you to all of you who suggested this as well. There are a lot of people who came up with this solution, and it is certainly a good one. So much time has gone by, and I've kind of reached the end of my playing time for today, and I kind of realised that there's still just so much work here to be done. But let me show you what I have done. We've pretty much built the rest of this at the top here. I do have to put the water in and then remove the blocks down the bottom, but I've spent a lot of time just putting in the fence gates and then putting the glass up the top. So all of that is coming along nicely. Then down the bottom I have removed all of the materials that were here, all of that stone and stuff going all the way over to the middle, and you can kind of see the outlines here as we come down. I've been preparing to move all of this stuff right here, because the best way to do this is to get down below at this height. I think it's 7 blocks if I recall correctly. Let's get down before that guy starts annoying us. And what you want to do is just look directly upwards, and you're going to hit 1, 2, 3, and there's some dirt here, 4. Oh, is it just 4? I'm sure you can reach further than that. Oh no, it's 5, look, there's 2 blocks there. So yeah, anyway, you dig up by 5 basically. So yeah, 7 would be the number because there's 2 blocks where we're standing. And then that way all you have to do is move across and just hold down click. And you see you miss a few blocks here and there. If you've got speed 2 on the beacon, which I don't have at the moment because 2 of them have turned off. Yeah, that's another problem we've got. That thing needs to be moved. But if you've got speed 2 and you hold down shift and you just dig upwards, you're going to get all of them, with the exception of coal blocks and other blocks that you can't instant mine. And these guys are just so annoying. I can't wait until they can't spawn in here because they are ridiculous. We might have to destroy that as well. I'm not sure how much further we're going to dig down, but it won't be too much of a problem. That's right, you guys fall down there and die. Yeah, so there's a fair bit of work left to do, and I was thinking that what we'll do next episode is probably start it off with a time lapse. And I want to build the entire top section, if I can, in one big time lapse, which is going to be crazy. but I'm sure I can pull it off if I put some preparation into it. So that is my ambition, I guess you could say, at the moment. And if the dirt looks funny over there, it's because that's actually the red stone material, which I believe is granite. As I said earlier, I have actually run out of time to play for today, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a bit more time before I have to upload this video. I'm pretty confident I can, so hopefully I'll be able to come back and maybe all of this here will be done. Who knows, but we are making progress, and I'm sure you can all tell we've done a lot of episodes over here so far, and we've got a few more to go because this thing is massive and it's tedious, but it's going to be awesome when it's finished. A lot of time has passed by since I last recorded. You may be able to tell by all of the land here that has gone missing, and you may be able to hear it in my voice, but I'm actually a little bit sick at the moment. I've been sick today and yesterday, not physically sick, just a little bit under the weather, which is unfortunate, but I have cracked on and made a ton of progress here. And next episode, what I want to do is really crack on and get as much of this thing done as we can. So we're going to start off the next one with a bang. I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this thing on the other side over there, so you can see how it all gets built. And that means I've got a lot of preparation to do to get all of the materials ready, but I will be doing that in between episodes. So next one, we're going to start it off with a time lapse, and that's going to be it for this episode. So if you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. You know it will always be appreciated. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.